Google. Let's just type Netflix logo PNG. So basically we need that with a transparent background. Yeah, that's the one I downloaded. So you can just go ahead into your assets over here, right click new image set, and then drag and drop it as I did over here. So basically I call this Netflix logo, and that's the name I'm going to use to initialize my image over here. So let me just go back to my home view controller. Let me just grab the image first. So basically var image is going to be UI image named Netflix logo. And some of you might ask, why did I initialize that in a variable, not in a constant? Well, bear with me for just a second. I'll tell you exactly why we need to do that. So basically, let's just go ahead and type navigation item dot left bar button item, and this is going to be equal to a UI bar button item. And let me choose this one. So basically I'm going to add my image over here. The style is going to be done, target self, and the action is nil for now. Okay, so let's build and run this and see what we have. Okay, so as you can see here, I have the Netflix logo over here, but something seems to be incorrect over here. Well, basically, we just need to modify or configure this image itself before adding it to the nav bar. And that's why actually I have initialized the image with a variable, because we are going to further modify the image. So let me just go ahead and type image. It's going to be the image dot with render mode dot always original. So this is how we force our iOS system just to use the image as it is. So let's just build and run this one more time and let's see what we have. Okay, easy peasy. So we have the Netflix logo over here. Everything seems to be working just as fine. And as you can see here, whenever you tap on it, you know it dims a little bit darker. So yeah, that looks cool. Okay, so the next thing is that there's also, as you can see here, navigation item, there's left bar button item, and with some logic you can deduce that we have also right bar button item. Okay, but this is not what we want. Actually, we want items, and fortunately enough, basically Apple just gave us it in a really simple way. So basically we can type navigation item dot right button, and as you can see here, we have right bar button item if you want to add just a single button or a single image, whatever you want. And the other one here is a one with an S. So basically it takes an array, and let's add our buttons inside this array. So basically what we're going to do is just we're going to type UI bar button item. Let's initialize that with an image. Okay, so for this image, I'm going to initialize that with a system image. Let me just go ahead and type that as a person. And if you ask me from where I knew that there is an icon inside the system which is called person, so basically there is a tool offered by Apple. You can just go ahead into Apple website or just Google SF symbol. It's a tool provided by Apple which gives you all of this predefined icons. You can just search for the icon that you want and copy the name from here. Let's say, for example, I just need the person, and as you can see here, I have person.fill, person.circle. You get the idea. Okay, so let me just go back and type person. My style is gonna be done, target self, and the action is nil for now. And let me add another button over here, UI bar button item. Okay, image, I'm going to initialize that with play.rectangle. All right, style is gonna be done, target self, and the action is also nil for now. and we can build and run, and let's see what we get. So basically, everything seems to be working fine. I want to have this. Maybe whenever we tap on this button, we should be represented by the coming soon tab. I haven't decided yet. So, and yes, that's the one we're going to be using for our profile. I'm not sure actually. I'm going to be working on the profile controller right now. I guess I don't want to, make this tutorial or this series too long, but I'll just see what I decide. Okay, so one thing I also wanted to change, let's type navigation controller, navigation bar dot tint color, and I want to set this to white. And if I build and run this one more time, and I can see here I get the buttons color to be changed to white actually. Okay, so everything seems to be working fine except for one thing. Basically, as you can see here, the navigation bar, it always sticks to the top and it hides the content behind it. Well, for some of you that might be a good design, but I just wanted to stick with the design from the real Netflix app. So here's the thing. I'm going to implement an algorithm which allows me to push the navigation controller as soon as I reach the very top of the screen here. The navigation controller is going to be pushed upwards until it gets disappeared, and whenever I pull down, I want to basically leave the navigation button the navigation bar over here sticks to the top. So let's just go ahead down here and let me implement this algorithm. So basically a table view, basically it's a scroll view, so it inherits all the methods that the scroll view have. So basically let's type scroll view did scroll, and let me type over here this maybe I'm not going to go into the details of how this algorithm works, but I'm gonna type it, and as I'm typing it, I'm going to explain what we have over here. So basically, let's just declare a new variable here. Let's call that default offset, and let me get this from view.safeAreaInsets.top. So basically, this is going to be the offset of the top safe insets of the screen. Okay, so basically it's not going to count as the notch is not there. It's going to count for the notch. Okay, so the other thing I wanted to get is that the offset that I wanted to assign for the navigation bar. So let me just go ahead and declare a new constant over here. Basically it's not a variable. We're going to call it offset, and this is going to be scroll view dot content offset dot y plus default offset. Okay, the next thing that we need to do, and it's very easy if you don't want to get into the details or how this actually works behind the scenes, you can just copy it. So basically let's just type navigation controller navigation bar dot transform and dot net. I wanted to use this. So basically we don't need to translate the navigation bar in the x-axis. So basically this is going to be 1, and the behavior I just mentioned, whenever I pull down, I would just wanted to have the navigation bar sticks to the top. So basically we're going to implement this by typing minimum, and it's either going to be 0, or if the offset is negative, so that means we are pushing the navigation to top. So basically let's type negative offset. Let's build and run this, and let's see the results that we have. Okay, so first of all, let me just pull down, and as you can see here, the navigation bar sticks to the top. But what happens if I pull to the top? Okay, and as you can see here, Exactly, that's the behavior I want to implement. So basically, let's pull down one more time. Let's pull in the other direction. Perfect, everything seems to be working fine. That's it. Okay, so since we completed our work over here with the navigation bar, let's just go ahead and set our header titles over here. So basically, let's say for example, let me just go ahead and open the one that we should have. Basically, we have trending movies, trending TVs, popular upcoming movies, top rated. I don't think I'm going to memorize all of that. Give me just a minute here. So basically, let's just go over here and let's declare an array that's going to hold our text, or basically the string for our header sections, titles maybe. So let's just type let header, or sorry, section titles. That's going to be an array of strings. And let me just start by typing trending movies, trending TV. All right, let's just give me a moment over here. I'm going to look at my second screen. Yeah, we have popular, upcoming movies, and top rated. Okay, just a minute. Okay, let's type top rated. And let's add one more item over here, upcoming movies. Okay, so let's go down there. Let's change the number of sections to be titles, section titles, dot count. And over here, let me just go ahead and grab the simulator one more time. Just a second. Okay, so we have the popular. Oh yeah, we forgot the popular, I believe. Okay, just a second. Popular. Okay, so trending movies, popular, trending TVs, upcoming movies, and top rated. And as you can see here, we're going to initialize a count number. So basically, this is going to get the number of titles I've added over here. And yeah, it's going to be dynamically assigned. All right, so let's add the titles for each section. And just go over here, type title, title for header in section, and let's just return section titles index. I believe it's going to be, yeah, it's going to be section. And this, we're going to get this section from here. So basically, let's build and run this and see what we have. Okay, we have the everything set up right now. We have yes, the number of sections is correct, and as you can see here, trending movies, popular, trending TV, and the upcoming movies. One thing that is bothering me actually is the font. It's all uppercase over here, and I don't believe the color is really subtle, like you can just see it easily. So let's just go ahead and fix that. Okay, so basically what we need to do is to implement another method. So basically it's just going to be will display, let me just go ahead and type that correctly, table view will display header view. We're going to get the header itself for each section. So let me just go ahead and type guard let header. Okay, it's going to be view as UI table header view footer view. Just a second, else return. And now we have an instance for our header. So let me just go ahead and modify the things that I needed to change. So basically let me type header dot text label, and that means, this warning means that it's going to be deprecated in the future. However, we just need to get things working right now. So since this is an optional, let me just type a question mark over here, dot font, and let me just go ahead and type system font of size 18, and let me just go ahead and type semi-bold. We want to give that header or that text actually a frame. So header dot text label dot frame is going to be C direct. Okay, so we want the header bounds dot origin dot x, and let me just give that like a margin of 20 points from the left. We want it to have the same y position, so basically header pounds origin dot y, and for width, let's say 100 points, and the header is going to fill the entire section. So let's type header dot bounds dot height. Let's build and run and see what we get so far. Okay, so much better. Basically we have here 20 points from the left, 18 points for the font, and a semi-bold so that we can see it much better. And now I guess we need to change the color as well. So let me just go ahead and type header dot text label dot text color. Yeah, that's the one. And assign that to white. Much better to be honest. Okay, one more thing over here. Let me just yeah, everything seems to be working fine. I believe I just need to what do I need to do actually? Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and type text label dot text, and I just need to change that to a header dot text label dot text dot lowercase, and let me see what we have here. Okay, I think it looks good. I just wanted to capitalize the first letter. Maybe in another video, like I'm going to talk a little bit more about the extensions and how we can take advantage of the extensions to shorten our code, make it easier to read, and actually yeah, I wanted to change the first letter over here to be a capital letter instead of all small. Okay, so I believe that's it for this tutorial because it's getting too long. So just to recap, we worked on our navigation bar over here. We implemented the scroll effect, and actually we worked as well here to assign a dynamic number of sections. It matches the sections that we have over here. We have set also the title for each section. Yeah, I guess that's it for this tutorial. In the next one, I believe we're going to start working with networks so that we can fetch some data over the internet and you know, have actually posters of movies over here. And let me just type in here in the search bar TMDB. So basically that stands for the movie database, and that's the website that we're going to be using for getting all of our movies and all that kind of stuff that you can see here over the screen. So if you haven't signed up already for this website, it's really simple. You can just create your account, and once you're complete with that, you can just press over here and go to the settings. And over here, you can just tap on API. And as you can see here, you get one of the API keys that we're going to be actually using for introducing ourselves to the website. So it's just like, hey website, hey TMDB, we're us, so please give us all the information that we need. So we just need to copy that, and let's go back to Xcode over here, and in the managers folder we created earlier, I'm going to create a new file here. It's going to be normal Swift files, and I'm going to call that API caller. And over here, let's just create a class. Let's just call that class API caller. And inside that class, I'm going to create a shared instance. I'm going to call it shared. And yes, we're complete over here. So basically, we're going to use that shared instance so that we can call all of the methods that we're going to fill in here later. But for the sake of simplicity in the future, I'm going to create a new struct over here. I'm going to call that constants. Inside that, I'm going to create a new constant over here. So let's just type static let API key. And let me just paste that key that we got earlier from the TMDB website. So let's just go back over here and let's open the documentation for the website itself. To be honest, it's well written and you can just go through it and see what you can get with this database. So let me just go ahead and type trending, and as you can see here, we have a method. It's also a get method, and it helps us to get all the trending movies, TV, and also persons if you want to have like a tab for showing the actors and the actresses and all that kind of stuff. You can just tap on try out, and as you can see here, basically there's an example of how you might be using the website. So let me just copy that. Let me just open a new tab and paste that over here, and basically this is just a placeholder that we can delete, and instead we're just going to provide the API key that we got earlier. So let me just do that, and as you can see here, our request went successfully, and you can see here page 1 results. Maybe you're familiar with the Spanish title, which is La Casa de Papel. It's one of my favorite shows. If you want to watch it, go ahead. It's airing right now on Netflix. So yes, we have all the information that we have over here. For example, we have the vote average 7.6 and all the information for the titles that we're looking for. So far so good. So let's just go back to Xcode and start working here in our API caller. I'm going to create a new function that we're going to be using for fetching all of this information. So let me just go ahead and type get trending movies. Okay, so basically this is going to be a function, normal function actually, and it's also going to have a completion callback function. Let me just go ahead and type that name, completion, and it's going to be an escaping function. We're just going to return a string for now, and that closure should be giving me nothing. Okay, so for the ease of usage in the future, I'm also going to copy the base URL from here. So let me just go ahead and copy that. Let's go back to Xcode and create a new constant over here. Static let base URL. I'm going to paste in here what we've copied before. And let's just go back to our method. First of all, I'm going to create the URL itself. So let's just type guard let URL is going to be a URL with a string. First thing that we need to paste in here basically is going to be our base URL. Okay, and I believe there's a / over here. Let's just go back to the developers.themoviedatabase.org website over here, and let me just copy all what we can see over here. So yeah, I'm going to copy all of that, and let me just paste that in here. And after the API key, which is going to be our first query for the database website, I'm going to paste in my API key, else return. So basically we have our URL setup over here. So let's just do that. And in this course, I'm not going to be using any third parties for network layering as a modifier and all that kind of stuff. We're going to be making all of the calls ourselves. So let me just create a new task over here. So let me just type URL session, just an extra s dot shared dot data task. I'm going to choose the one with the URL request over here. Let me just create a new URL request with my URL. And for the completion handler, I'm going to be using the data. I don't need the response right now. And of course, I need the error in case we have any error calling the functions. So over here, let me just go ahead and type guard let data is equals to data. And also I want to make sure that the error is equals to nil. Else I should return, of course. We're going to refactor this and add more functionality, but we just need to get everything set up. I missed an else over here. Okay, so right now we have our data. Okay, so right now we just have our data. So let's just convert our data into a JSON object so that we can serialize it and actually be able to use it more easily. So let me just go ahead and type let results equals to JSON serialization dot JSON object with data. So I'm going to pass the data that we had in here, and also I'm going to allow fragments. Okay, so let's just see what error that we have. Basically, this function throws an error, so we must execute that function inside a do catch block. So let me just go here, print error, not localized description, and let me just cut that and paste it over here. And since it throws an error, let me just add here the word keyword try actually. And over here I can print the results. And before we end that, we have created the task, and that task is by default is created in the pause status. So we just need to type task dot resume. Okay, so our get trending movies function is complete. Now we just need to call that function from our home controller so that we can see the results over here. So over here, let me just create a new function, private find get trending movies. And basically, this is where we're going to call the function. So let me just go ahead and type API caller.share.get trending movies. And as you can see here, I don't need the return value right now. We just need to test if everything is working fine. So yeah, basically that's what we're going to need for now. And let me just go ahead to our viewDidLoad method, and let me just call that function build and run, and let's see the results that we have. Okay, so as you can see here, our connection to the database has been established successfully, and we get our results over here. As you can see here, we get lots of JSON objects, and we need to start by making our models so that we can serialize all of these. So right now we have all of our information over here in the console. So let's just go ahead and look at what all of this information really are. So as you can see here, basically we have an array, and that array holds a bunch of objects over here, and each one of these objects basically is just a title that we're looking for. So as you can see here, each title has an attribute for the ID itself. The media type, as you can see here, it's a TV show. The name is Money Heist, and as you can see here, the original name is La Casa de Papel. We just need to have a model so that we can have the movies like we have over here. As you can see here, we have a movie that has the attribute name of the ID, media type, movie, original language, English, and all that kind of stuff over here. It happens to be Venom. So let me just go ahead to our models folder that we created earlier, and let's just create a new file over here. I'm going to create a normal Swift file, and let me type movie. So in this file, I'm going to create our model that we're going to be using over here so that we can extract all of the information over here that we need. So basically, we're going to create a struct, and let me just call that trending movies response. So in this structure, we're going to create here an array. Let's just call that results, and be aware that these it's a good practice actually to match the names of the attributes over here. So the first thing that we need to do is just we're going to create this array. So let results is going to be an array of movie, a single movie to be exact, so that array is multiple of this single item. And you might see here that Xcode is complaining because it cannot find the type movie in this scope, and basically this is what we're going to be doing right now. Let's just create a new struct. Let's call that movie, and in here we're going to copy basically all of the attributes that defines a movie. So let's just go here. As you can see here, that's the start of our object. Basically, that's the end. So basically, we just need to copy that to our file over here so that we can create the model easily. Let me just paste in here. Okay, so basically what we need, we need an ID. Maybe we're going to need a media type, original language, original title. So let's just go ahead and get the attributes that we need. So right here we need the ID, of course, and that's going to be a type of int. Okay, let media type is going to be a string, and I'm going to make that optional so that if the movie database did not provide us with a media type, we know for sure that our app is not going to crash. Let original name also is going to be an optional string. Let original title string also going to be optional. Let poster path, and as you can see here, I'm getting all of this information from here. I'm just extracting what I'm really interested in. So you can see here poster path, and that's going to be an optional string as well. Let overview, an optional string. Let vote count, and that is going to be an integer. Let release date, also going to be an optional string. Maybe I'm interested in the vote average as well, so let vote underscore average, and I believe that's going to be a double. Okay, so basically we have created the model for the response that we're getting over here. So yeah, so let's go back to our API call over here, and we're going to delete this actually. All right, so we just need to type JSON decoder. We just need an instance of that decode, and we're going to be providing the model that we've just made over here, which is basically trending movies response. So just pass in that with the data. And Okay, so basically, as you can see here, there's an error we get over here, and that's because we forgot basically to conform to the codable protocol, and we just need to confirm in here as well. So basically the codable protocol is just a type alias for the encoder protocol and the decoder protocol as well. So yeah, we can just remove the codable and just since we're only using a decode method, but it's just easier for us to not going to be prone to errors in the future. So we just need to conform to the codable protocol. Let me just go back in here, and for now I'm going to print the results. Let's build and run this, and let's see what do we have. Okay, so yeah, we forgot actually to add the try keyword over here. Let's build and run this one more time, and as you can see here, we've managed to successfully get the array of objects that we have over here. Okay, so as you can see here, we have the trending movies response over there, and it's also it has the attribute of results, and inside that results array we have all of our basically data that we have. So let's just access those results. So dot results, and since the results is actually an array, I'm going to actually also access the first one. And as you can see here, we have the ID, media type, original name. Yeah, basically we have all the information that we need over here. So let me just, for example, print the original name for the first element that we get in this. And as you can see here, yeah, it's La Casa de Papel. Okay, so let's just go ahead and modify our function a little bit. So basically we're just returning a string. So let me just go ahead over here first and create an enum. I'm going to call that API error, and that's going to conform to error. And I'm going to create my own error, which is going to be failed to get data. And over here, I'm just going to modify that. So basically, we need to return the results. So basically, like result. And as you can see here, we're going to be returning an array of movies. So let me just go ahead and type array of movie. And if not, we're just going to return an error. And over here, I'm going to add the call the completion. And as you can see here, I'm just going to provide here a result. So a success, which is going to take an array of movies. So results.results. Let's just go back in here to our home view controller. And as you can see here, right now, I'm going to call that one more time. API caller.share.get trending movies. As you can see here, actually, I'm getting results. So results, I'm going to switch on that results. So basically results. Okay, so in case of success, I'm going to get an array of movies, print movies. And in the case of failure, I'm going to get an error over here. And let me just print the error. Let's go back to our API caller. As you can see here, if there's something wrong that happened in the do block, I can just, before print the localized description, I can just delete that. Completion, not failure, and I can pass in my error. And I believe there's something wrong that needs to be done over here. And okay, yeah, that's the one. We just need to wrap that inside the parentheses over here. And let's build and run that one more time so that we make sure everything is working. And yes, we have everything is working right now. So that's it for this tutorial. Just to recap really quick, in this tutorial we just managed to establish our connection with the database. We fetched all the information that we needed, and also we serialized those information back to a JSON object. And now we have the models, the movie model right here, and now we're ready to pass all of these information back to our view controller. Let me just go to our resources folder. Let me create a new file. It's gonna be a normal Swift file. I'm going to call that extensions. And over here, let me extend the string data type. Let me create a new function over here. It's gonna be called capitalized first letter, and that function is going to return a string. And inside that function, I just need to type in for here return self dot prefix. I'm going to choose the first letter, and I'm going to change that to an uppercase, and then I'm going to add the self dot lowercase dot drop first. So as you can see here, I'm only choosing the first letter, converting that to an uppercase, and the rest is going to be a lowercase, and I'm going to drop the first letter so that we don't have multiple letter, as you can see here. So let me just go back to our home view controller, and before I use that function, I just need to rearrange my array over here. I noticed that in the real app, the trending TV comes after the trending movies, so let's just do that. And let me fix that by adding that comma. Okay, so let me just go down over here where we set the text for each section header. Instead of typing dot lowercase, I'm going to capitalize the first letter. And over here, let me just build and run this, and let me see what we got so far. Okay, so everything seems to be working as I expected. As you can see here, the first letter of each section is capitalized. So we utilize the concept of extensions so that we avoid duplicating code over here and just adding code that is not relevant to the controller itself. We just need to handle that in its own extensions. We don't need to capitalize the first letter over here in our home view controller. We don't want to handle this over here in our home controller. It's not relevant, you know. Okay, so in the last part, we just need to fix something regarding the API that we've called to fetch the movies over here. Basically, these movies are going to be feed inside this controller view, and as you can see here, this collection view, and this collection view, as you might guess, it should only carry the movies. But let me just go ahead for the API, and as you can see here, we're calling or fetching the trendings for all kinds of data. So instead of all, I'm going to change that to movie. Let me just build and run that one more time. As you can see here, we get the same results, plus it is filtered. We're only retrieving the movies instead of having both movies and TV at the same call. Okay, so we got the trending movies. So right now, let me just go ahead and get the trending TVs, and basically it's going to be very similar to this. So instead of using all or movie, we're just going to limit that to use the TV itself. Okay, so let me just go ahead and open the API caller. Yes, we've already opened that. And let me just go ahead, let me just get more room over here. Let me create a new function, get trending TVs. Okay, we're going to have a completion handler, and it's going to be escaping as well. We can just, we can copy that from over here. Okay, let me paste that over here, where instead of returning an array of movies, I'm going to return an array of a TV. Okay, and let me see. The only error we get so far is that because we don't have TV model yet. But just to get things started really quickly, I'm going to return a string for now. And as you can see here, Xcode is no longer complaining about this. So let me just go ahead and initialize the URL that we're going to be working with. So guard let URL is going to be URL string. I'm going to pass over here the base URL. Okay, /3/trending/TV/day. Okay, we're going to be passing the API key over here. So basically it's the same thing. And you know what, we can just copy that from here, just not to be prone to any errors. Let me pass that. And instead of movie over here, I'm going to pass in TV and else return. So I'll just create a new task, URL session dot shared dot data task. I'm going to do that with a request, URL request. Okay, that takes a URL, which is basically the URL that we've just initialized up here. And for the completion handler, we're gonna need the data. I don't need the URL response, I just need the error. And basically it's the same thing over here. So let data is equals to data. And also I'm going to check or make sure actually that the error is equal to nil. And after that, I'm gonna do let results equals try. Let me just go ahead and see JSON serialization dot let me just see here, JSON object, yes, data allow fragments allowed. Let me just go ahead and print the results over here. And after that, I'm gonna catch if there's any error. So let me just go ahead, print error dot localize description. What else do we need to do is just we're gonna resume our task so that we can see the result of that. So let me just go ahead and copy that, get trending TVs. Let me just go ahead to our home view controller, and instead of calling the get trending movies function, I'm going to let me see what we can do. Change that name for a second, get or fetch data, because this is just gonna be a test function. Let me just go over here, fetch data, and we can comment that away because it's already working. We just need to test the other one. So API caller dot share dot get trending TVs, and for the results, I'm not going to do anything right now actually because we're already printing that in the other API caller file. So let me just go ahead and build and run this, and let me see if that is working. So we have an error. Let me see, what do we have? Okay, cannot call a non-function type. Oh, okay, just an extra parentheses. So let me just build and run that, and let me see. And as you can see here, we have the response from the server, and as you can see here, each and every one of them has a media type of TV. So that is done. So we just need to create a new model over here to handle the TV response. So let me just do that. So it's going to be a new file over here. Let me create a new Swift file. I'm gonna call that TV. And let's have a look. So as you can see here, we have a TV results, which is basically an array that holds basically each and every object over here. So let's just do that structure. I'm going to make that with the same, basically with the same format over here. So instead of trending movie response, I'm going to call that trending TV response, and let's conform to the callable protocol as well. And as you can see here, that has a results. Let me just, yeah, and make sure to get the spelling correctly. That is going to be an array of TV. And over here, let me just create a new structure I'm gonna call that TV. Also going to conform to the codable protocol, and let me see what do I have for here. Okay, so I believe basically it's the same. Yeah, I believe it's the same as movie right here. I'm gonna copy that for now, and to be honest, it's not the best practice over here because there is a duplication of code, but I'm not sure that the database or the server itself is going to have the same thing for the TVs and the movies in the upcoming future. So I'm just, because I don't have any control over the server over here, so I'm just going to basically get that copied. And I believe that's okay. Let me just go ahead back to my API caller. Instead of that, let me just type here TV. And instead of using the normal JSON serialization, let me just go ahead and convert that actually to the model itself that we've returned. So JSON decoder, let me have an instance of that. What was it? I believe it's the same one over here. So yeah, it's decode. And we're going to provide the response that we're going to get. So TV or trending TV response dot self. Okay. And the other one is gonna be using the data that we have returned here. Let me just print the results, and crossing fingers, I'm going to wish that this is going to work on the first try. And yes, it's working actually. So yeah, basically this is going to be the trending TV. We have the trending movies over here. Let me just open here the simulator. So let me just go ahead and see. Okay, so we need the popular, the upcoming movies, and the top rated as well. And this is where we're going to open TMDB one more time. So let me just go ahead, and we're going to go through the API or the documentation of the website itself. So let me just go ahead, settings, API, developers.moviedatabase.org. And yeah, we can search over here. So let's say, for example, upcoming. And yeah, there's already a method over here. So let's see, I'm going to say try out, and basically this is the URL that we're going to use. So let me just go ahead and copy that, go back to Xcode, API caller, let me just paste that as a comment over here, and let me make a new function, get upcoming, and I'm going to call that upcoming, or let me see here, basically, yeah, it's going to be an upcoming movie, so upcoming movies. For here, we're going to use the same signature of the function. Okay, so let me just paste that over here. We're going to return an array of movie. Okay, so let me just go ahead and create the URL for this as well. So guardlet URL is gonna be equals to URL, and it's going to be from string. And let me just paste that over here. So let's just cut that. I'm not going to need that anymore. Okay, so instead of having this, okay, I'm going to remove that. Let me just add the base URL from the constants. So base URL, movie, upcoming API key. We're just going to substitute for that as well. So constants API key, and I believe that's it. So else return, I'm sorry, let me just put that in the curly braces, return. So we have our URL, and now let's have the data task as well. So let task is going to be a URL session dot shared dot data task URL request is going to take a URL, which is basically done over here. And for the completion handler as well, same stuff. And as you can see here, it's just a type of pattern. It's not that hard to get comfortable with that. So let's just guard let data is equals to data, and over here we just want to make sure that the error as well is equals to nil. Okay, let me just do a do catch block print error dot localize description, and over here let me just let results is going to be equal to try JSON. Let's just go ahead for here and type JSON decoder decode, and I'm going to return the trending movies, I believe. So let me just try if that works, because I believe it's going to be the same model. We're going to use that from data, and over here let me just print results, and let me just go ahead to my home view controller. This works as well, so let me just comment that for now. Okay, and over here let me just type API caller.share get upcoming movies for the result. Right now I just don't need it, and let me just build and run. Let me see here if there is any response for the upcoming movies. Okay, I'm not seeing anything right now. So yeah, and that's because we've created the task and we forgot to change that to resume. So task.resume. Let me just build and run and see. Okay, so yeah, we actually can use the same model because it's not changed. It's the same across all the movies that's being retrieved from the database, as you can see here. So we have the trending movies. Let me just open that one more time. So we have the trending movies, trending TVs, upcoming movies, top rated and popular. So let me just go ahead and do the same thing over here. So popular, get popular. Okay, so it's going to be basically the same. So we're just going to do that really quick. And let's just go ahead one more time over here. Get upcoming movies is working fine. Let me just test the other one, API caller share dot get popular, and we don't need to return anything right now. Okay, so let's build and run, and let me see. And before I do that, I already again forgot to resume the task. And let me just build and run, and let me see. Okay, so yeah, I'm sorry, guard let, yeah, that's going to work. And we forgot to add the try keyword over here. And yeah, everything is working fine right now. So basically we just need to set up one last API call, which is basically the top rated. So let me just go ahead and do that really quick. And yeah, as you can see, everything is set up right now. So basically that's it for this tutorial. We've completed our API calls, and in the next tutorial we're going to extract the information that we just need over here and start adding pictures and posters and have something really working on our app. Okay, so before we move ahead and use the information that we got from the database, I just gave it a thought, and I thought this is just the exact same model for both the TV and the movie. So we don't need to have this duplicated over here, so we can just go ahead and delete the TV model, move to trash, and that I'm going to rename that to maybe trending title response, and that's going to hold an array of titles. And over here I just need to change that to title as well. Okay, and we can rename the file if you want to. Let me just go ahead and rename that, so title. Alright, and just to fix the error that Xcode is going to throw at us in the API caller, we're going to change all of this from movie to title. And over here, trending title response. Okay, and the TV as well is going to be a title. Basically, it's just removing the old name, passing the new one. It's really simple. Okay,